When I started the year 2020, I thought I would show my love of cars in YouTube videos, mainly for my friends. I never really once thought I'd establish an audience. I know my audience isn't huge, so I appreciate every single one of you guys for watching. But one thing was certain. I never thought once that any company out there would let me use their cars to make videos. Let alone that company be Porsche. They gave me another one. Let's go check it out. Seriously. Porsche.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Danny Vicente, and today we are going to be reviewing the 2019 Cayman GTS. This is Porsche's 718. And when I say that, non-Porsche enthusiasts look at me like I'm crazy. Now, I know all you Porsche enthusiasts out there know the difference between a 718 and a 996 and a 992, but to a non-Porsche person, that's just a bunch of numbers. For you non-Porsche enthusiasts, the 718 simply signifies this platform, which is the Boxer and Cayman platform. So first things first, the 2019 Cayman GTS is powered by a 2.5 liter turbocharged Boxer 4. Produces 365 horsepower and 309 foot-pounds of torque. 0 to 60 on this? 3.9 seconds with Porsche's PDK transmission. The Cayman and the Boxer were once notably referred to on Top Gear as the Porsche to buy if you couldn't afford the 911. And I'll be honest with you, in the early 2000s, I probably agreed with them. The reality is this car is a phenomenal platform. And one could argue, in some ways, this is better than the 911. The 911, as I mentioned in the last video, was my favorite car ever. It was my dream car. But it has gotten bigger and more luxurious, a little less go-kart feeling, if you will. The Cayman, however, still retains that raw go-kart feel. When you drive this car, it's little, it's nimble, and you can put it around corners pretty simply. This being the Cayman's sportier trim level, the GTS, it's fitted with 20-inch 911 wheels on Michelin Pilot Sport 4s. It's actually been lowered by 20 millimeters. The setup is fantastic. The brakes accented by this beautiful color. Now this color is an additional cost, but it's minimal, and I think it looks pretty damn fantastic. So the GTS model, unlike the 911 we reviewed last week, we can actually open the rear and take a look at the engine. And it's not an engine, it's additional trunk space. You still can't see the engine on this car, it's still down below. But you do have additional trunk space that you can add a few things in, making this a pretty good everyday car. Just like the last Porsche that we reviewed, this has the red LED bar running across the back. It is signature Porsche, undeniable on the road, and it's a thing of beauty. No fake exhausts or vents on this one. Large intake vent on the side as well as exhausts here, and while we're back here, why don't we give it a listen? Okay, so the interior of the Cayman, unlike the 911 has actually gone to a much more luxurious feel. It has every kind of piece of technology and gadget within the interior that you can imagine, fine leathers and Alcantara everywhere. This continues with the fine leathers and Alcantara, but it is a little bit more focused on the drive. It's a little less luxurious. You don't quite have the amount of gadgets, and you can sense that while you're in it. It is more focused on getting you around the track or the road in a fun manner. Now that's not to say it's missing anything in here. There's not a lack for any buttons. Everything is heated and cooled in the right way. The stereo's fantastic. The instrument panel is great. You've got, again, that analog tachometer right in the middle. And for somebody like me, a car enthusiast, that is what you want to see. Right there in the middle to know when to go through those gears. Again, this is the PDK transmission, but we have our paddle shifters to work our way through. It's really a great car. Now it is tight. Again, this is a much smaller car than the 911, but in my opinion, that's a good thing. Driving the Cayman, the first thing you notice instantaneously is how much smaller it is. The car just feels a lot tinier, a lot more, you know I keep saying it, but go-karty. Steering is fantastically precise. It goes exactly where I want it to go. It's not on the level of the 911 if I'm honest, but it still is very, very tight. Interesting piece on that is the steering wheel itself is rather small. It's a little more dainty in your hand. It doesn't have that thicker body like on the 911. Let's give it the beans and see what happens here. Those crackles, the crackles. I know this is a 4-cylinder engine, but the crackles coming from that exhaust were rather nice. That was kind of fun. Porsche really does a great job of getting everything out of their engines. Again, this is only a 4-cylinder engine, but it picks up nicely. Now realistically, it's not on the speed level of the 911, but it's not supposed to be. This is so much more of a user-friendly, if you will. The 911 is so powerful, there's so much of the engine that you will never reach as far as its capabilities or its power unless you take it to a track. This one is the kind that you can use a lot more of it in your daily driving. And there's something to be said for that. The sound is really great. Considering that this is a 4-cylinder, I cannot express enough how good it sounds. No, again, it's not a great sounding V8. It's not even the 911 6-cylinder, but it does sound good. I would not be mad listening to this on the drive to and from work any day of the week. This Cayman having the upgraded brakes, you feel it. This is not a heavy car, and these brakes are ample to slow this car down and stop as aggressively as you need them to. The suspension is actually very smooth. We're going over a fairly bumpy road right now, and I really don't feel much. And that's saying something considering that this car has been lowered. You'd think you'd get a little bit more of the bumps and undulations within the road itself. The paddles are incredibly responsive. Again, Porsche's PDK transmission. I know there's a lot of people out there that don't love it, but it's pretty great. The seats in the Cayman are nicely bolstered as well. You're not flopping around in your seat. Now, they're not hard and extremely restrictive as a lot of sports cars have done. I think some of those seats, honestly, they've gone too far. The reality is most people aren't taking these cars on a track every single day and don't need those kind of seats. I want them just as much as you, but they do hurt your body after a little while of being in them. These seats, however, are very comfortable. I could easily drive long distances in this car and be very happy. Hey guys, that's it. I hope you liked today's video. If you did, please smash that thumbs up button. If you're not already subscribed, subscribe down below and hit the little bell icon. That way you're notified the next time I upload a video. Also, if you're in the market for a Porsche, please visit Rocklin Porsche. These guys are fantastic. This specific Cayman is on the lot right now, available for you to purchase. I'll see you guys in the next one.